Suspicion of growth hormones in beef. What's actually going on? If you buy beef in the US, it's considered completely safe. But that same beef is banned in parts of Europe. So, what do they know that we don't? Or is this just another food myth that won't die? I kept seeing this debate pop up. So, I decided to dig into it calmly, without panic. And what I found was more complicated than I expected. This all started when I noticed beef labels like no added hormones and hormone free. If beef is safe, why does it need to say that all? And why do the US and Europe completely disagree on this? Let's break it down. No fear, no lectures, just facts and context. What are growth hormones? First, an important clarification. Growth hormones in beef are not steroids and they are not new. In the US, farmers have used certain hormones for decades to help cattle grow more efficiently. The most common ones mimic hormones that cows already produce naturally. So, yes, hormones exist naturally in beef anyway. The real question is whether adding more makes a meaningful difference to humans. And this is where things get interesting. US position safe at these levels. In the United States, regulators like FDA say the hormones levels found in treated beef are far below anything that could affect humans. They argue the amounts are tiny, cooking reduces exposure further, and your body already produces far more of these hormones naturally. From this perspective, hormone treated beef is considered safe. End of story, right? Not exactly. Europe, including the UK, took a different approach. They didn't say this is definitely dangerous. Instead, they said we don't have enough long term data to be confident. So the EU banned certain growth hormones in beef, not because harm was proven, but because uncertainty remained. This led to a major trade dispute with the US that's still talked about today. Same science, different risk tolerance. Here's the part most headlines leave out. The debate isn't about immediate danger, it's about long term exposure, hormone sensitivity in children, and whether cumulative effects matter over decades. Some studies suggest possible links to hormone disruption, others find no meaningful effect at all. So, depending on which study you trust, you get very different conclusions. That's why the topic never really goes away. Now, let's talk about those labels. In the US, no added hormones doesn't automatically mean healthier. It mostly reflects consumer preference, not safety warning. But when shoppers see that label, it naturally creates suspicion. If hormones aren't a problem, why highlight their absence? That question alone fuels half the controversy. So, should you be worried? Here's the honest answer. If you trust US regulators, there's no strong evidence of harm. If you prefer the European approach, avoiding uncertainty makes sense too. This isn't a clear villain story. It's a clash between scientific interpretation and risk philosophy. So I'm curious, if the same beef is safe in one country and banned in other, who do you think is being more cautious? Let me know in the comments.